Hey everybody, welcome to the ggNews today. Sorry we've been a bit out of pocket, been really busy with a few different projects. But today what we're going to talk about is esports and family entertainment chains. And we're going to bring in Armando from Creative Works, who is jumping into the esports world in FECs with both feet, in addition to the putt-putt, laser tag, and escape rooms that they do at their company. Okay, joining me today is President of Creative Works, Armando Lanuti. Armando, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, I am a big fanboy of your company, and I can't believe that I've only found out about it in about the past year. But give the audience an overview of what Creative Works does.
So we're in the business of creating powerful emotions and memories, right? In doing so, create all these amazing attractions that are immersive, themed, going from laser tag, mini golf, escape rooms, laser mazes, do a bunch of custom fun stuff. And then in the last, I'd say 18 months, 2 years, we've started to build a lot more into the technology side of things, adding in virtual reality, mixed reality cave systems, as well as then esports.
Now, 13-year-old Jason is super jealous of your company because 80% of my time was spent in arcades or at a putt-putt when I was a kid. So I'm jealous of what you get to do as a day-to-day job.
It's yeah, our job is fun, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is, and we're blessed for sure to be able to have that opportunity.
So you guys do a lot of work with family entertainment chains or
Hmm.
FECs, and we recently met you guys at IAPA and were introduced through um, connections in the industry. So what I wanted to ask you is, what are the current trends with FECs, and how do you think that those trends will evolve in the next couple of years?
As far as esports goes, or just in general,
No, I just
so
mean just FECs in general.
it, at the end of the day, your biggest competition when you're running a family entertainment venue, a resort, a hotel, a casino, or any other sort of location-based entertainment venue, is you're competing with the couch, right? I mean, you're competing with, inexpensive 4K televisions that you can get for under 500 bucks, that are ginormous, 55, 65 inches, big still, streamed in on Netflix, HBO, Game of Thrones coming out. Like, why does somebody want to leave their couch and come to your venue when they have all these amenities at home? And so what a lot of location-based entertainment, facilities have started to look at is, how do I create this compelling experience? How do I create this immersive environment that they can't get somewhere else, that they can't get just by being on their couch or out at other venues? How do I get them in and create this special memory, that's going to make them want to come back, as well, more than once? So that has been a huge draw. And so with that, we've seen the advent of just more elaborate experiences, different types of experiences, such as virtual reality really setting in. You can get a single virtual reality headset at home, but it's expensive, it takes up space, etc. The ability then to go into a location-based facility and play in a virtual reality setup with friends all together, brings that social dynamic, back into it. Same thing with even the evolution of what you've seen in things like bowling alleys, where it's not just about scoring, trying to score a perfect 300 anymore. They've got all these other games that are built in and these sub games built in to make it fun for the casual player, right? Um, you know, Look at the evolution of something like Top Golf, that has come to the market. At the end of the day, Top Golf's a driving range, right? But they made it a driving range where I'm excited to go and have fun, even if I suck at golf. Even if I'm not good, even if I'm not a player, in that gamification that they've created, and surrounding it with good food and beverage, to create that social, dynamic is what a lot of venues are trying to do right now.
And I love that phrase, competing with the couch. I'm going to steal that if you don't mind.
By
But
all
from
means.
an esports perspective, curving a little bit back to that, How do you think that esports is going to fit in to that family entertainment chain evolution?
Yeah, and so there's a couple different ways that we're seeing that, and first and foremost is, most of the people that are going to be watching your videos are relatively familiar with what esports is, but it's just as the wider public becomes, more understanding of what the concept of esports is, as the older demographics are being taken over on the spending side of things at these location-based entertainment venues by millennials and Gen Xers and Gen Ys, where they're watching esports more than they're watching football, right? And so as they're understanding that, they're wanting to tap into that market, but again, they have to go back to, how do I compete with getting them off the couch? Because I can play on my home computer, I can play on my home Xbox. What makes it special to come inside? And there's a couple aspects to that. One is the social atmosphere that you can get by actually seeing your buddy in their face and their reaction, or hearing that jubilation when you get a victory, or disappointment when you get knocked out in a game or in a competition. But also that ability to play potentially on hardware you can't afford to have at home, and that ability to play in experiences that, again, you can't get at home. So, one of the things in our partnering with you guys, for example, is that ability to play League of Legends with Legends Unlocked, right? To play in Fortnite tournaments where you can only play if you're at the venue, and there's potentially exclusive skins and things that you can get that you can't get at home. You can't get if you're playing on Xbox, or you can't get if you're playing on your home PC. So it's a reason for them to come to your venue and get out of it. And then you got to wrap it up in a pretty bow, right? You can't just put a bunch of folding tables with a tablecloth over it and just plop up some computers. It doesn't fit their aesthetic. It's not also going to hold up to the wear and tear. So you've got to design it, to be an attraction for a commercial environment, and to meet the aesthetic expectations of both the facilities as well as the customers coming in.
So recently you guys came out with the Game Up Esports attraction, in addition to all the other things that you do. And what I wanted to ask you was, in addition to all the things that they do, how do you think that FECs will succeed in utilizing esports?
Yeah, I think it's going to be venues that are targeting, people as young as 7 all the way through adults, that have a good traffic and a good flow already, as part of their facility. They're in a demographic that's got disposable income. It's a lot of the same requirements that you're going to be looking for any good FEC if you're opening up a venue, and you've got to really have somebody that's ready to drive that bus, so to speak, as well. It's not going to be an attraction like a typical arcade game where you literally just put it in, put a swipe card machine on it, and it runs itself. You've got to treat it much more like an attraction. So you've got to have staffing no different than you would for a laser tag or a ropes course or a trampoline portion. You've got to have somebody that's there and running the experience, from that standpoint. And so venues that have that foot traffic, that have that flow, I think are really designed to be primed for that, because the market's ready for it.
So with your Game Up Esports attraction and the package that you provide for a family entertainment chain, how is that going to be different than for an FEC that tries to do everything themselves?
There's a couple different things. One is definitely the quality of the materials, the desk, how it's built. If a big goal and a big component of a lot of entertainment chains is food and beverage. So you need a desk and you need a setup that's going to withstand the occasional spill, that's going to be able to take the abuse of a commercial environment of, thousands of people playing at it over the course of a year. And that's just not going to be able to be done in, going and buying tables somewhere as easily. Along with that, it's a sophisticated server setup that is, monitoring all the systems, ensuring that they always have all the games up to date, have access to all the games. One of the things when you try and go and do this yourself, if you've got, let's say, a 20 station setup and there's 10, 15 popular games, you're buying titles for all of those stations and having to pay for those licenses. And then on top of that, you've got to then manually go through and update those on a weekly basis as patches drop. And being able to have a system that's just going to take care of that for you, and that the whole integration that includes the licensees, I mean, that is priceless for an attraction that that's including gaming and esports.
All right, Armando, for sure. Love all your tips. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to hearing more from Game Up Esports at Creative Works. Have a great day.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and you have a great one.